Hi, it's Ileana. So I had remote viewed the Giza Plateau Pyramids in November 2023, and I had discovered that under the pyramids there were different types of structures like cities, electrical, I would say like structures that emitted electrical frequencies and almost looked like power plant type of generator systems, and so many different structures and buildings. And the pyramids, this was about 100,000 years ago that I was remote viewing the Giza Plateau Pyramids. So there's underground tunnel systems in various levels of structures going down the tunnel systems. I noticed a lot of different like cylindrical style structures, a lot of magnetic energy and frequency, and there's like ships flying all around the pyramids, triangular ships. That's what I had noticed, and a lot of obelisk-like structures and just structures that power things, energy based. And this was again in 2023. So, and there's buildings underneath housed within the structures. So it's like almost like cities underground, huge cities under the pyramids, under the plateau. And some of these crafts, triangular crafts, were also there. And these cylindrical type spaces. It was interesting that I had remote viewed that in 2023, and now it appears that scientists in Egypt have just announced that they found some kind of a structure under the Khafre pyramid. And it is also, they're saying that there could be cities underneath there. With LiDAR, radar, they were mapping under the Giza Plateau Pyramids, and they found these structures. So this is what the LiDAR radar is showing, what looks like cylindrical objects. And basically these tower-like structures above the cylindrical objects, which could be towers, which could be perhaps power generator systems, and this is under the Khafre pyramid. So this would be under the sand. And this was my remote viewing, which looks similar. These types of buildings are like, I was getting energy towers, cities. So I was getting a lot of cylindrical shapes and energy and frequency. So if this discovery is true and it's real, then it does match up with my remote viewing from November 2023. And I had done a video about this remote viewing. So I wanted to go over the remote viewing again and to compare it to this image of this is what supposedly the LiDAR radar is showing that's underneath the Khafre pyramid. I'm not sure how accurate this is or how legit this is, because they're not actually showing the LiDAR scans. They're showing this diagram of what the LiDAR scans picked up. So they have simulated a diagram. But this looks a lot like this, what I remote viewed. So there is similarities to it, because here there are these cylindrical shapes. I'm not sure if these are shafts or what this is, but these types of generator systems or buildings and these types of power structures, towers. There's several of them like this here in this simulation of what the LiDAR shows, the scans. And similar to here, to tunnelways and all leading under the pyramids. And this was in 2023. That had not been announced back then. This discovery was just announced a few days ago. Perhaps they found this a long time ago, but this is being announced now. So the mysteries of the Khafre pyramids and the Giza Plateau pyramids, this remote viewing seems to corroborate that there's something under the Giza Plateau pyramids and that these discoveries are finally being shown. And this is like deep under the pyramids. So there's a whole other world under these pyramids. And I think they were power generators to power huge grid systems 100,000 years ago, to provide 0-point energy to different cities and Atlantean outposts. That's what I think that was, and to Egypt. So that's my hypothesis from the remote viewing. So it's very interesting how this image, what I remote viewed, is similar to this LiDAR diagram of what supposedly the scans show. So similarities. There are things under these pyramids. And I think that's real. So, and I hope they actually show the scans themselves, like the actual scans, what the radar penetrated through under the pyramids, and not just diagrams. That would make it more authentic as real proof of what they've been saying in this conference. And the conference was in Italian, so it's not in English. But I thought it would be interesting to do a comparison going back to that 2023 remote viewing and this diagram, because there's similarities there. So thank you so much.